2 points ahead.
Yeah, they've just got their noses ahead.
Our exit poll is predicting that the Conservatives are the largest party.
If this exit poll is right, Andrew, I will publicly eat my hat on your programme.
Of all the scenarios imagined, this seemed the least imaginable. The sitting Prime Minister off to see the Queen for a new mandate as the undisputed winner.
And we can take these islands with our proud history and build an even prouder future. Together, we can make Great Britain greater still.
That the government should call a general election to be held.
And what we're saying is the Conservatives are the largest party. Note, they don't have an overall majority at this stage.
It's time, frankly, that the opposition summoned up the nerve to submit themselves to the judgment of our collective boss, which is the people of the UK.
Now, in a few moments, polling stations across the United Kingdom will close, the voting will be over, and we'll be able to reveal the result of our exit poll. That's our first hint of the possible result. So, as Big Ben reaches 10 o'clock, we are standing by with those crucial exit poll figures. Here they are. Our exit poll is suggesting that there will be a Conservative majority. Viewers, if you're just joining us here on election 2019 at 5:08 in the morning, is that the Conservatives are now past the finishing post. They have won a majority in this campaign, and that is the formal result for us.
As you can see, we've won before, and now we need to deliver a strategy to win again. 9 years ago, before I was a minister, and long before I became chairman, I was a 40-40 target seat MP. And in target seats like mine, the 2015 general election wasn't about Labour's failures. It wasn't about Jeremy Corbyn or getting Brexit done. It was about our local record of delivery. In just 2 years' time, our record of delivery will once again be a deciding factor in how people vote. So we need a massive effort to get our local success stories out, to share the incredible things we've achieved together as a party, and to let people know about the important work that we're still doing, creating jobs, investing in public services and improving lives. And that's what the 80-20 target seat campaign is all about. This is a targeted, focused campaign based on the 80 marginal seats we need to hold and the 20 marginal seats we have a serious chance of gaining. We're going to need a huge effort from everyone here today, every single activist, every single member and every single association, just like we had in 2015. Because whilst the last two elections were short and snappy, this campaign will take place over 2 years, just like the 2015 campaign. No one is saying it's going to be easy, but if we pull together, I know from personal experience what a difference it can make. And I'm thrilled to say that we've already hit the ground running. We've got new campaign managers across the country helping MPs tell their stories. The first leaflet of the 80-20 campaign is hitting doorsteps this summer. And over the next 2 years, there'll be an opportunity for everyone here and at home to play a role, whether that's sharing content on social media or talking to voters and changing minds. I'm confident that if we come together, put that effort in and get our message out, we can win the next general election. In the meantime, I hope you enjoy the hustings. We've got 2 excellent candidates and they're both clearly ready to be Prime Minister. But no matter which candidate you choose, let's remember that the country will be making a choice 2 years from now. A Labour government or a Conservative government. So let's get to work.
campaign manager for Bolsover. You probably know the seat because in 2019 we released Dennis Skinner, the beast of Bolsover, from his parliamentary chains and elected Mark Fletcher, the first ever Conservative to represent this constituency. I've worked with Mark since May this year, helping to spread his local success stories, highlight our levelling up actions and strengthen our vote. Now, we've already delivered over 32,000 leaflets and surveys, but I'm not slowing down because I've got big new targets to meet. We need to recruit new canvassers, new deliverers, new activists to spread Mark's message, not just on the doorstep, but on social media as well. That's on top of running local issue campaigns, such as here in Glatwell with the speeding campaign for the A617 and organising community events. It's tough work, but it makes a huge difference, and none of it would be possible without members like you and supporters like you. My position is funded entirely through donations, so every member, donor and supporter has the chance to play a massive role. Because although it's my job to grow the team here in Bolsover, campaign managers and successful campaigns rely on people across the country for support, whether that's knocking on doors or chipping in. So I hope that over the next 2 years, 80-20 candidates and MPs like Mark Fletcher can rely on you.
Please welcome Chairman of the National Convention, Peter Booth.
Good evening, Cheltenham. This is the 6th of our hustings on our national tour, and we're at the halfway point, and we've been so far to Leeds, Exeter, Cardiff, Eastbourne and Darlington. And for me, it's good to be home in the southwest where I live, and I actually get to go home this weekend. It's so good to see so many southwest friends here tonight, and friends from around the country as well, particularly the southeast and the West Midlands. Welcome to the best region in the country. Thank you to you all for attending this evening, because these hustings offer us, the members of the Conservative Party, to take part in a great exercise of democracy, where we get to choose our new leader. She or he will be announced on the 5th of September, and as we're the party of government, then will become Prime Minister very soon afterwards. As Ian Dale, who moderated many of these hustings in 2019, said, and I quote, "I found chairing the hustings a surprisingly positive experience. The members really put the two candidates through their paces and asked some very searching questions. So I ask you tonight to make your questions searching, to make them succinct, and to ask questions and not make statements. One question each, please, so that more of the audience have an opportunity to grill our candidates. Both of our candidates have a duty and a desire to fulfill our 2019 manifesto. Their differences will be about how to go about that and achieving it in a very different world from 2019. Post-Brexit, post-COVID, in uncertain times internationally, look at the Ukraine and Taiwan, and where our very union as a nation is being challenged. So I'm sure tonight that you'll want to test our candidates, to seek to establish their strengths, and to see who you think is best capable of running our great nation. As we're all Conservatives here, well, I hope, because we did have some hecklers in Eastbourne, I know that you'll be respectful of our two candidates and keep your questions positive. As you know, our ballot is opened. You can cast your vote online or by post. It's very easy to vote online, or you can choose traditional snail mail. And if you do vote by post, then please remember to put a stamp on your envelope. You should have received your ballot paper by today, and if you haven't, then please contact your constituency chairman or constituency office, who'll be able to help you. My hope is that this evening will give you more clarity about how to cast your ballot. I hope that you'll go away enthused and energised in your commitment to helping our great party to win the next election. We need your help and support. Finally, because we're in the South West, I want to thank our regional chairman, Julian Ellicott, for all that you do Julian, it's much appreciated. And now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get on with the show.
Please welcome Chairman of the Conservative Party, Andrew Stevenson.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for coming to our 6th of the nationwide hustings that we're holding across the country. I'm delighted to be joined by so many party members tonight at what is another sellout event, an event that gives you, our members, the chance to put your questions directly to the candidates. All of these events are available online too, so welcome to all of you joining us virtually this evening. Since becoming chairman, I've been getting out and about across the country, including visiting seats and campaigning here in the southwest. Campaigning with Conservative activists in Truro and Falmouth, St Ives, and today in Cheltenham. Seats in this region are key to our success at the next general election. So it's been great to campaign alongside so many dedicated party members. We've had an incredibly strong slate of candidates for this leadership election. Together, the most diverse range of candidates for any leadership election in British history. Labour would love a female leader, but we could be about to have our 3rd female Prime Minister before they've had one. Or our first Prime Minister of Asian heritage, the 2nd Conservative Prime Minister from an ethnic minority background after Benjamin Disraeli. I'm staying neutral in this contest, as are all of our hard-working party staff. But I do believe we have 2 fantastic candidates. Either of them can tackle the big issues our country is facing, taking us forward together. We are the world's most successful political party, and that is down to our ideas, down to the support of our members and our record. Our Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, has shown that a Conservative government can rise to the challenges of today. Getting Brexit done, delivering the fastest vaccine rollout in Europe, protecting over 14 million jobs during the pandemic, and leading the world in supporting Ukraine and standing up to Putin. That is a truly historic record which our next leader will build upon with the support of party members. Before we hear from each of our 2 candidates, let us just remember why a strong Conservative government is so important. The alternative is a Labour-led government, likely in coalition with the Liberal Democrats and the SNP, which would risk the integrity of our United Kingdom. Labour would have never broken the Brexit deadlock. They voted against tax cuts for low-income families. They voted against additional investment in our NHS. And they voted against protecting our borders and tackling the vile people smugglers. And now they want Sir Keir Starmer to run our country when he can't even get his own party on side with a hard-working majority of British people against Labour's union paymasters. With shadow ministers even joining picket lines, it's very clear that Labour still isn't working. Remember, when Labour last left government, they admitted there was no money left, and no Labour government has ever left office with unemployment lower than when they came to power. That is what is at stake. It is our next leader who will relentlessly continue to deliver for the British people, leading the way in standing up for our ideals and our partners on the world stage, uniting the country and uniting our Conservative Party. I know that you all want to hear from the 2 candidates to help you decide who to choose to lead our great party and our country. So with no further ado, let me hand over to your host here in Cheltenham this evening, Camilla Tominey. Thank you very much.
Wow, it feels a bit like being in a boxing ring, this, doesn't it? It's lucky they're not going head-to-head. I'd have to be a referee, I think, with all the briefing that's been going on. Welcome to Cheltenham. I'm sorry if you had trouble getting in. If anyone is currently glued to an Extinction Rebellion protester, let us know. We'll have some extra numbers in. But would you believe this is actually going to be the biggest hustings that have been hosted so far in this contest? I think there's 2,000 people here. So thank you very much for making the effort. Now, obviously, we're in a race course, so I feel I have to use a few racing analogies. We're not in the final furlong, are we? We're kind of halfway through. There's sort of still a steep climb and then a kind of free will to the finish. And I know the bookmakers are saying that this is a one-horse race. They're saying that Liz Truss, I think, is ahead by 2-to-1 members. Maybe some of you in here are going to be disagreeing with that. We've had Rishi Sunak, haven't we, slightly on his high horse, saying that he'd rather lose than compromise on his own principles. So again, we're going to challenge him on that. But generally, this is all about you deciding, if you are currently undecided, who should be in the winner's enclosure. So I'm going to invite you to ask as punchy questions as you can, as succinctly as you can. If we